This episode of the Nerd Corporation podcast may contain spoilers and explicit language. Listener discretion is advised.
With me as always is Cole Simper.
We are the Nerd Corporation.
He says, why is staying out your fucking mouth? And then he gets he gets like the softest slap in the entire world.
With the biggest cock back of the fist.
No, she'd be like, her ego's so big that she just wouldn't even, I'm gonna let that happen. Oh, no big deal. Nope.
Derek Reese.
I'm back in better than ever.
Nick Lewis.
Welcome to Jurassic Island.
And Angela Wooden.
They nerfed Sora's feet.
Oh, no. They did.
He's not wearing the Osiris D3s anymore?
No, he's not. Yeah. That's so funny. I always think about fat people when I think about those shit. Because you ever seen a pair of those? Yeah, they're bad. Yep.
I had a few pair that I absolutely loved. And you had, like, the bigger they were, the cooler you were. Like, you had them all puffed out.
So like Jinkos.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Oh, yeah.
It was like there's like the Jinko shoe, pretty much.
The equivalent.
Like, the puffier the tongue was, and, like, the more, like, extended your laces were.
Yeah, you had to, like, braid them to, like, checkerboard patterns and stuff on top of each other.
What a time to be alive.
I remember thinking, like, how does anyone skateboard in these? And then I remember hearing that if you tied the edges, like, if you put the laces in the edges, it, like, became, like, a better skateboarding shoe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I always associate those shoes with the group LMFAO.
And we are the Nerd Corporation. Welcome to episode 153, the Catchup. We've been gone for almost a month. And we sure did miss a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
Not this, but a lot of...
Oh, yeah. So we're just going to talk about all of the things that we missed. One of the big things, namely, was the slap heard across the world, right?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Will Smith slaps the absolute nothingness out of fucking Chris Rock. Like, I can't imagine any softer of a strike.
Especially with how far he cocked his fist back. Like, he was
like
just...
after?
No, when he went... Like, he came back and then went, slap.
Well, and he had the other hand up, too.
It was a real sucker move, in my opinion, because, like, he walked up there and, like, he was not telegraphing at all that he was going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a lot like a sucker punch, but I do think that you're right, Derek, he was going for a fist, but then, like, immediately chose to slap, because it's a weird, the way that he goes, there's a lot to it.
It looked like a jab that, like, turned into a slap.
And not only that, it sounded like a punch, in my opinion. It sounded like a punch, but it, you know.
When I saw him walking up there, I thought he was going to, like, make another fucking joke at, like, his expense.
Or he was going to, like, rib him, like,
call me when you have have your own sitcom.
Yeah.
Well, and, like, the weird thing to me is that when Chris Rock made the joke, he was laughing at it. So, like, I don't know if he just wasn't paying attention, and
careful.
he was like,
Jada might hear this.
I don't give two shits.
So I really believe that he thought it was funny, and then you see Jada, you see Jada roll her eyes, and then the camera pans away from them, and I think that she went like,
you basically
you're gonna let him say that about me.
It's
and
basically
then he's like, oh shit, and then walks up.
Yeah, it's basically like Jada kicked him in the shins and was like, hey, mom, you know, like, no. And there's a whole lot of different ways that you can look at it. I personally think it's two incredibly egotistical people had a very, very, very unfortunate moment in the limelight. But hashtag save Will Smith. I think it's very obvious that this man is in fucking pain. He's not in a relationship that's healthy for him.
I think it would have been funnier, instead of making fun of her illness, to make fun of the fact that she was sleeping with her son's friend.
How you gonna slap Chris Rock, but you ain't gonna do nothing to August, Will? How you gonna do that?
I think it's a work.
How you gonna do that? I don't know if it is, though, because those egos, man, those egos are like titans fighting each other. It's ridiculous.
I think it's
if you look at like afterwards, after he goes and sits back down and yells, keep your wife's name out, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Chris Rock's just kind of like, do I go on? Like,
there's
there's
a brief moment where he's like, it almost seems like he's gonna say, "Oh, I could say something.
Yeah,
I could do this."
Well, he says that he's like, "Oh, I could," and then
he stops himself.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Why? You could have burnt that motherfucker to the ground. You could have had your own Ricky Gervais moment. Like it would have been your own." But of course,
but I mean, I wonder if he was also,
he was definitely
in that moment
in
trying
shock,
to.
Yeah.
Well, not just that, but like to consider. What might be going on with Will Smith, and
it seems like he's like, oh fuck, I offended my friend and I didn't mean to. And again, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah.
Like it's very clear. Like I think society has not been very kind to Will Smith, and again, like I think that he is, using that word again, egotistical. I think he's very, very vain. However, that wife of his is very clearly not okay for him. And did you see this video of their like some random interaction of Jada like filming Will? It just barely came out, and Will's like, "Don't film me, like without even asking me in my own home."
Mm-hmm.
And
that's some like fucking what's her name and Johnny Depp shit.
Well, it definitely, you're right. It had that vibe for sure. But I can't help but like notice. If I said that in that tone, in that direction towards Angela, you know what I mean? Like I try to contextualize it in that way. There's not a whole lot of love there. Like it feels scary.
Well,
like,
I mean, I feel like, from what it seems like, obviously from the outside looking in without all the information, to me, it seems like she is extremely manipulative and I'm sure just absolutely beats him down emotionally constantly.
I always go back to the J. Cole line that Jada and Will love.
Like that didn't age well.
No.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
It's like when somebody says, "I want that Joker and Harley Quinn relationship."
Yeah.
No, the fuck you don't.
That Ike and Tina Turner love.
Right?
The fact that man still went up and accepted his award for
and he tried to spin it like that King Richard would have done the same thing.
Dude, that fucking speech that he gave when he won Actor of the Year, by the way, like no consequences at all. It's like,
well, so apparently they had been asking him to leave prior.
That's very funny. That's very funny. Like how? Yeah. the guy's like texting him like, "Hey, you need to leave."
Well, yeah, and like what? So he says no. So you're like, "Oh, okay."
So
okay, it's fine.
I don't know.
Basically.
I don't know how true this is, but I think that the nominees who win know ahead of time, and so I think he was like, "No, I'm about to win the fucking award of my life," for Actor of the Year. And so he's like, "No, I'm not fucking leaving."
You leave.
Yeah.
He gets up there and has this unhinged fucking monologue about being like the vessel of love after he just assaulted a man on live TV. I don't know. It's there's something wrong with Will Smith.
It's not a good look.
We should probably go see what's up.
I wonder if it was. I mean, I wonder if he just didn't want to try and ad-lib, so he just did whatever speech was that he had prepared. And
I don't think so, though, because
those tears are real.
Yeah,
those tears were real,
and it was like a very embarrassed like front that he was putting on too, like, but trying to spin it in the way where he was like, "I didn't do anything wrong. King Richard did the same thing. He protected his family and the ones that he loved. That's what I did."
I think he should have just done his speech and just acted like nothing happened.
Right. I heard he checked himself into a mental institution.
Really, when?
just recently. I could be wrong though. Jimmy, could you look that up? I don't know if it's real or not. Yeah, it was something about him checking himself into a hospital or something like that.
It's really, really hard not to believe that Jada just kind of spun this web, right? And it's like, I can get away with anything that I want to do, but then you're going to be over here propagating that. You know what I mean? Like, bolstering me up, and it's...
I just
always... over here, and you're over...
I always think of that super sad meme of him crying after she said that he's been cheating on him on her Facebook live show.
I don't know, man. To be told that you're being cuckolded online, like, that's pretty rough.
Yeah, so he checked himself into a, quote, luxury rehab clinic.
What's the source?
That costs, like, probably $4,000 a day, you know.
Oh, more than that.
A minute.
Like, when's Jada gonna check herself in?
Right?
Like, because that, you know she gaslights the fuck out of that poor man.
Oh, no, big time, dude.
Like, oh, God.
So I'm saying, the web, bro.
Well, yeah, I cheated on you, but it's your fault.
The sources aren't really all that credible, like capitalextra.com, Black Sport Online, Your Tango.
Wait, what's not credible about Black Sport Online? They're a national publication. How dare you?
So I don't know if it's true or not, but like there are multiple sources saying so.
I hope Jada gets the help that she needs after she's done fighting this horrible battle with alopecia.
The problem is to seek out help, you have to acknowledge that you have a problem, and I don't think that Jada is that type of person.
Oh, no. It's everyone else are the ones who have the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They live in a completely different world than you and I. It's just how it is.
I mean, that's going to happen with, actors anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, but at the same time, it's like, why should we give a fuck?
Exactly.
Like, dude, and like, we're very obviously late to the party on this one, but this shit was fucking everywhere for a week. Like, IGN reported on this like 4 or 5 times. Different variations of anything that had to do with Will Smith, Jada Pinkett Smith, or the fucking Oscars. And it was like, and I'm not that guy. I'm not yelling about it, but I'm just like, holy fuck, guys, we can't milk any more out of this. It's really like, what more can we have out of this? And then,
as more information released.
Yeah, and when the Oscars basically told Will Smith, like, hey, 10 years. you can't be an egotistical asshole on our platform for 10 years, you know. And,
you can elsewhere, just not here.
And he's gonna, just be counting down the days until he can go back. I don't know. I don't give a fuck about the problems of these people because they don't live in the same world that I do.
People are commenting a ton on like Black Hollywood in regards to this because they're like, when the Academy was mostly catering to white people, this didn't happen before.
Oscar's so white.
For fuck's
sake. So they're basically calling
it,
back then it was Oscar so white, and this one is Hood Problems. It's fucked up.
That is so fucked up.
Yeah, but like they're like, all of Black Hollywood like went to Will Smith and like they said you fucked up. Like Morgan Freeman was one.
Yeah.
Damn, and if Morgan Freeman tells you you fucked up?
Yeah, but you also got fucking Samuel L. up there being like, hey, yo, my brother. Like, did you see him when he was accepting the award? Samuel L. Jackson's up there like, bring it in, my brother, bring it in. Like,
yeah,
you didn't do nothing wrong. Oh, no, hell yeah, accept that award.
It was at this time Will knew he fucked up.
Well, I mean, I think it's just one of those things that, like, in the grand scheme of things, no, he didn't really fuck up any more than anyone else could. However, the fact that he's not white means that there is a fucking spotlight on that shit, because anything that people can do to, push someone that's a different color down, like, fuck yeah!
Yeah, and
so, I think it's one of those things that, the black acting community is like, dude, you're fucking killing me, Smalls! Like, why do you gotta do that to us?
Yeah, why did you have to do that?
I think that there would have been as much media coverage around the subject if it was a white person assaulting a white person, but I don't think that you would be hearing the narrative like
No, not
Black
at all.
Hollywood did,
Not
or
at all.
White Hollywood did this.
Yeah,
you know,
not at all.
It's also very funny and ironic that it happened to Chris Rock because Chris Rock has that very, very, very infamous, if you think about it, clip or bit in one of his stand-ups where he's talking about there's two types of black people.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's a little ironic that it happened to
I
you.
thought it was a little ironic that he had a sitcom called Everybody Hates Chris and Everybody Hate Chris in that moment, but
It's season 4.
Yeah.
This is season 4.
I didn't actually read the article or at least I think I skimmed it, but supposedly back in the day, Will Smith made an alopecia joke about someone.
Who did?
So that's pretty ironic as well.
Damn.
He's fine making alopecia jokes.
And then didn't Jada like go on record saying like I didn't ask him
I didn't need you to.
And
it's like, you rotten bitch.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fuck you, dude. When I'm down and you kick me.
Like I very heavily suggested that you had to, but I never said it.
Like, what the fuck? I don't know. And I do think it was like a massive impulse move. Like, it was no thought was in this at all.
I feel like it was kind of like, this is how I envisioned Will when he was off camera. Like, he makes a joke and he goes,
Oh fuck.
Yeah, no, that's
It's
literally
0 to 100.
well. That's no, and I think that's what happened. And Jada was like, "You're gonna let him say that about me?"
I'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, I just imagine him looking at her, seeing the look from her, and going, "Fuck! All right, here we go."
Really?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. There was a lot of like confidence behind the strut and the
All this
The-
could have
the
been
cock
all this
back.
could have been avoided if she was actually cast in G.I. Jane.
I know, right? If that bitch just didn't have alopecia,
Yeah.
I mean, that movie has to happen now, right? Like,
they have to approach. Even if they don't actually plan on having her in it, they have to at least approach her first.
At least
Yeah,
ask.
At least approach her first.
I mean,
Look, this is an uncomfortable subject.
That's fucking
but-
awesome. Just the
And then if
The
she says,
executives going like-
says no, then just go right to Demi Moore because she was in the first one.
it wouldn't be cultural appropriation. Like you wouldn't seek out someone with long hair for
Right.
that role.
right, exactly.
And it's funny that, the sequel is where you get the black woman. But
Right.
I don't know. It's also really strange because I was under the assumption, I've never seen it, but I was under the assumption that G.I. Jane was like a boss ass bitch and got shit done and was really cool about, I don't know. It's a really tame joke
Yeah.
to get super offended by.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man.
I'm kind of like trying to picture how this would go now if he said that joke to like actually Demi Moore and Bruce Willis was sitting next to her and he just gets up there and just fucking like
Oh, that would be-
socks Chris Rock.
No, he'd
knocks him out.
He'd like blow him up.
Bah, bah, bah.
Well, Will Smith, we hurt for you. We hope you're enjoying your luxury
other
rehab stay.
There's other fish in the sea.
Dude,
Guys,
I
come
really
on.
hope he's actually at this facility and that he spends like a week there and goes, God, life is so much better without Jada around. I doubt it.
I don't know,
I fully
man.
doubt it. But
And then he
you know,
fucking gets home and just throws all her wigs out the window,
and he's
bro.
like, go be in G.I. Jane too. I don't give a fuck.
Looking like one of the aliens in Men in Black.
There's other fish in the sea that are not piranhas.
Exactly.
You're Will fucking Smith. man.
Hearing that she didn't like stand behind him and was like, I didn't ask him to do that shit.
Yeah,
Like
But she's been doing this shit for years, man.
Yeah,
like,
but I
little
mean,
snide
that's-
comments like that.
yeah,
for
but that's
years.
just like immediate, like right on the back of this happening. Like it's just another piece of obvious evidence of like, yeah, she's kind of the bad guy here. Like Will Smith may have fucked up. Yeah, he did something in the heat of the moment. Yeah,
He was a patsy.
but he was the fall guy.
He was a patsy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that we don't know, and that says a lot considering
speaks
how much we do
volumes.
know.
Yeah.
God, and it's like one of those situations where, you know, Will Smith actually reminds me of somebody really close in my life, and they're acting exactly how I would think that they would act in the event that the whole fucking world is against you and making fun of you. Mm-hmm. And it's really sad to see that, because you know that there's good intentions. I know that Will Smith has good intentions. I know that what he's trying to do is stand up for the things that he believes in, because I do think that he's had a really fucking hard life. I mean, even with his fame, I think he's suffered immensely from the lack of a father figure in his life and everything. And, you know, really well documented in the things that he's done. But so what is this movie that he got nominated for?
King Richard.
What is that?
It's about it's chronicling the
Richard Pryor.
It's Richard Williams, the father of Serena and Venus Williams.
Okay. Interesting. I don't know. You're better than this, is basically what I'm trying to say. And man, you can't, just remember, anything you put on the internet, even if it's up for 2 seconds, is there forever.
Yep.
Because somebody will record it, somebody will clip that. Just stop, man. Like, in that video, he says that social media is his bread and butter. I'm like, maybe you should step the fuck away.
Yeah.
See, like, that's the thing, though. Like, when you're... Because, I mean, I've been in a relationship where, you know, constantly being emotionally battered. Like, when you're in the thick of that, like, you can't see anything. You know? You can't, like... You don't think clearly about anything.
I don't know. It's
dude.
It's a level of manipulation that's just fucked up. Yeah. And how you did that to Will Smith, I don't know. She must have like beer flavored pussy or something. I don't get it. Chocolate flavored nipples. I don't get it. I really don't.
There's got to be chocolate.
It could have been any color of chocolate. Fuck you, Nick. You won't get me like this, motherfucker.
Chocolate milk comes from brown cows. Did you know that?
Yeah. Yeah, the cows drink the chocolate and then they just shake the cow.
Yeah. Well, we hope everything works out for Will. But let's keep it on the peak cinema train. Vin Diesel,
oh, for God's sake,
has confirmed that Brie Larson is joining the cast of Fast 10.
Okay, you're going to have to forgive me. Who's Brie Larson? Which one is Brie Larson?
She's Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Because there's another one that has another actor, Alison Brie.
Yeah.
She's...
I always get those two mixed up.
Glow and like Community.
Yeah. Okay, so this is...
Much Captain Marvel.
Dude, I love her so
Captain
much.
Marvel.
Yeah. Okay. So Vin Diesel posted an Instagram post and, you know, he says, yeah. You see this angel over my shoulder cracking me up? You say to yourself, that's Captain Marvel. Clearly, there is love and laughter in this image. It's like a really forced, like, picture of Vin Diesel and Brie Larson laughing with each other.
She's just over his shoulder watching him type.
Yeah, like it's just like, you can really tell that it's just like, oh, let's pretend to laugh. You know?
I know you don't have emotion, Vin, but can you pretend?
Family.
Vin Diesel's another one of those guys that just doesn't understand the severity of the internet. I don't think he understands like the things that he's saying, the things that he does is just pure ammunition to some people.
Right. So that confirms two people. So it's Brie Larson and Jason Momoa who will be joining the cast of Fast 10.
And that's the whole cast. That's all there is.
There is. That's it. That's all of them. They're going to shoot a Hemi-powered Prius into an alternate universe.
Oh, for God's sake.
Where Brian didn't die, and he's the bad guy.
Nice.
Played by Jason Momoa. And they'll be like, the resemblance is uncanny and shit, right? And
So, remind me, how many more of these do we have?
So it's Fast 10 and Fast 11.
Okay.
So 11 will mark, or I don't know if it's like 10 and 2 or whatever. It's a 2-part series.
Okay.
So it'll be...
Oh, okay.
Fast 10 and then Fast 10 2. Like...
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So it's kind of like Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Yeah. Like, it's just... This is what will end it.
You would compare the Fast series to Harry Potter.
I did it for a reason.
Yeah, so...
Excited?
I'm so stoked.
Yeah.
they could make a car out of shit and roll it down a hill, and I'm going to watch this movie. Like,
that'll probably be Fast 11. I mean,
I hope so. I hope so. There's no shortage of ideas. It's just funny. Like,
it seems like there's a pretty good shortage of ideas.
Good ideas, maybe, but ideas, no.
Got nothing to say to that?
Man.
Because it's all true. I know what. I
know what the fuck it is.
Yeah, I know what it is. I know what these movies are.
Yeah.
I know what these movies are. I say it every time, but I'm excited every fucking time.
When do we have this movie?
2023.
2023.
Yeah, we have it in 2023. Moving on, the BAFTA Game Awards, the British Academy of Film and Television Arts.
You're right.
So they had Game Awards.
Oh.
And
I didn't know they had Game Awards.
I didn't know they had Game Awards either.
Weird.
They're very understated. It doesn't seem like it's a big deal.
But the winners for Best Animation, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. For Artistic Achievement, The Artful Escape. For Audio Achievement and Best Game, we got Returnal.
Okay.
British game, Forza Horizon 5. Debut game, Toem. Evolving game, No Man's Sky.
Okay.
Family game, Chicory, A Colorful Tale. Game Beyond Entertainment, Before Your Eyes. Game design, Inscription. Multiplayer, It Takes Two. Music, Returnal. Narrative, Unpacking. Original property, It Takes Two. Performer in a leading role, Jane Perry of Returnal. Kimberly Brooks for performer in a supporting role as Polina Petrova in Call of Duty Vanguard. Technical achievement, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. And Game of the Year was Unpacking.
That is very interesting. Returnal was on there so many times, and many other titles that I've never even heard of were on there.
Very, very indie.
Unpacking.
This game's fucking great, isn't it?
I love unpacking shit.
Oh, unpacking is fun, though.
What is it?
It's an unpacking simulator.
I've never heard of it.
It's like the way they make...
It's on Game Pass, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like very Zen-like. You're basically this person moving through, like unpacking through different apartments and stuff in their life, and you're, kind of just moving stuff. There's like calming music that's playing. And
okay, I think I might have seen that. Interesting. Yeah, Returnal's on there a lot. Pretty surprising. I think we should probably return to that game. I'll take it.
Here's something that I just came across that I had no idea was ever a thing.
Yep.
Christopher Lloyd is going to star in a movie based on Spirit Halloween stores.
There was
what the fuck?
No, there's some other big name attached to older big name.
Yeah, so it's Christopher Lloyd and Rachel Lee Cook from She's All That. Some chick from the Breaking Bad sequel, El Camino. And then it's funny because we've got Donovan, I don't know these people, Donovan Colin, Dylan Frankel, Jaden Smith.
Oh, no.
The movie's coming out in October. Basically, it's a movie where a Spirit Halloween store pops up in a strip mall, just like it always does, but the building is haunted by a spirit who possesses the animatronic. It's like Five Nights at Freddy's and Spirit Halloween. I also just saw that Will Ferrell is going to be in the Barbie movie, and I don't know how I feel about that.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Unless he's like a Will Ferrell character.
Yeah, it's got to be like a Will Ferrell doll.
Yeah.
So
it just shows up.
It's just an Anchorman doll.
Yeah, it just shows up out of nowhere.
I could see him. No. Isn't Ryan Reynolds voicing Ken?
I know Margot Robbie's Barbie. They haven't revealed his role, but he will be the CEO of a toy company that may or may not be Mattel. Ryan Gosling.
Oh, that's right. In anime news, the season finale, or what we believed to be the season finale of Attack on Titan, was revealed to be the ending of the final season, part 2.
Psych, bitch.
And now they are going on to the final season, part 3. We will do our Nerd Corporation podcast review on the anime in the year 2074 after part 69 has wrapped up.
Nice.
Right. Zac Efron is starring in a redo of the Firestarter movie.
What?
If y'all are familiar with Stephen King novels, Firestarter is one of them.
One of them.
Okay.
Right. It's about a little girl with pyrokinesis. So Zac Efron will be starring in the remake of that movie where he is a father trying to protect his daughter with pyrokinesis.
Just think of that Prodigy song.
The Firestarter.
Yeah, I am
Tricky
the Firestarter.
So I went and, against my better judgment, saw Morbius.
Yes, please.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
I've heard so many mixed reviews.
So first off,
I just see it getting made fun of constantly.
First off, in terms of overall rating, I would actually give this a solid C+, B-. It was actually okay. I mean, it really wasn't terrible overall. The special effects were cool. Anytime Morbius was doing vampire shit, they had these cool, sort of trails of ethereal weird shit coming off of him, and it looked really cool. The dialogue was fine. It wasn't anything mind-blowing or great. There were a couple of times that it was pretty awful. One particular moment, and I mean, I'm assuming no one's gonna watch it, right? Or at least not soon.
It's not high on my list.
Okay.
Not even a chance.
Maybe a Disney Plus watch.
So, there's a point in the movie where, so what's going on is after he's turned into a vampire, Morbius had already beforehand, he had created this synthetic blood for, to help, with blood shortages and things like that. So, and he found that this synthetic blood was reasonably okay at helping him sate his hunger for blood.
Uh-huh.
However, each time he took or drank it, the time of effectiveness was getting shorter and shorter and shorter. So he was eventually this synthetic blood's not going to work, and I'm going to have to drink.
Acclimating to it.
Yeah, and I'm going to have to drink real blood. So anyway, there's this one point where he gets arrested, and he had already gone without synthetic blood for a while, and so he's struggling, and the cops are in there interrogating him, and he goes, "I'm getting hungry, and you wouldn't like me when I'm hungry." And I
said that?
I nearly stood up and said, "No, the fuck you didn't!" It was.
No,
he did.
Dude.
He 100% said that shit.
You're fucking lying to me.
I am not lying. I'm not lying at all.
Bro,
you wouldn't like me when I'm hungry.
Man, it is rough.
That's Edward Norton's exact line in Brazil.
Yes.
Isn't that just a Hulk thing in general?
Well, they say angry, not hungry. But yes, that's it. That's a Hulk thing, yeah.
Okay.
But Edward Norton legitimately said in Portuguese, "You wouldn't like me when I'm hungry."
But
as a joke.
It's a Sony Marvel movie.
But here's the thing.
Fucking eat shit.
Well, and here's the thing. Had it been a Deadpool-y kind of movie, and it was silly and off the cuff and intentionally being a little over the top,
right? Cool.
This was not that movie. This was a very serious, hey, we're taking this shit seriously, and we're trying to make this a good, solid, almost a little bit of a horror based, we're trying to do this right. And then they come off with that corny shit in the middle of the movie out of nowhere.
Fuck off.
Out of fucking nowhere.
Fuck off.
He's not wrong.
I mean, Jared Leto fans are on fucking life support at this point.
Fucking A, bro.
I mean, that with like all the reports coming out about how he was a cocksucker on the
well, I mean, those reports come out with every movie he does because he's just
filming.
Yeah,
the Suicide Squad set, is that cool? What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but
this one too.
There's things coming out now about how his method acting got so bad that he didn't break character even to go to the bathroom. And so it would end up being like 30 to 40 minute bathroom trips because he's legitimately like limping or
in a wheelchair.
Like, got to take a piss.
Like crawling to the fucking bathroom. So everyone's just on standby, just waiting for Jared Leto to get done with his golden piss. Like it's not okay anymore.
Yeah, and there are all these people.
You're an asshole.
Well, and there are all these people that are like, hey, you know what? There are people who are actually in wheelchairs and can't fucking walk, and you're sitting here being this asshole.
So funny. He's had people push him to the bathroom.
Yeah,
dude. Again.
And calling him doctor.
Oh my fucking
God, they had to call him doctor the entire time filming.
Funny.
Hey, Dr. Asshole.
Exactly.
Stop it.
Okay, so anyway. So there was that. And that was like the biggest part of the movie that I was like, oh no, the fuck you didn't.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly. But in general, it was okay. There were definitely some holes in logic. I was telling Eddie earlier, so the whole thing of the experiments that he's doing is they're illegal, unethical, etc., etc.
Uh-huh.
So initially, at the start of the movie, he's performing these on a boat, out in the ocean for, seclusion and hey, we're in international waters. We can get away with a little bit, whatever, the whole movie trope.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But then, that's where he turns into the vampire and winds up, back in America and, in his lab.
Yeah.
He's brought this giant flock of bats that they got from a cave or whatever into his lab. And he's still going, hey, this is all super illegal. This is super unethical. Shh.
Yeah.
I'll put this in this see-through glass tube in my giant well-lit lab with a wall that is attached to the hallway. This is the exterior wall, which is also see-through glass. So secret.
Yeah.
So that part was fucking stupid. And I was like, there are people walking by looking in. And then they're also just coming in because it's not locked.
Those fucking bats?
Yeah, and those poor bats. It was just this giant tube.
Yeah.
There wasn't a tree in there. It wasn't like a replication of a cave. There was nowhere for them to hang. So they're just flying around the whole fucking time.
Like those game shows where the money spins around the tube.
Exactly. So poor bats. But anyway, I mean, and it was just little things like that.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it wasn't too bad. The acting was decent. I mean, you've got Jared Leto, for all his flaws, is a decent actor when he's given, decent dialogue, which did not happen in Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And then you've got Matt Smith, who's a great actor. So I mean, it was actually pulled off pretty well, but again, other flaws in terms of logic, he could only fly if there were these weird wind currents, which only he could see because his heightened senses or whatever. But the wind currents didn't make any sense. The first time he noticed it, he was just standing there, just in a random place, and these wind currents come wafting by him or whatever, and he's like, oh, what's that? And that's all, it's kind of a little teaser for later.
Yeah.
But then Matt Smith's character is chasing him. They go into the subway, and then these wind currents, he sees them again. And they're kind of wafting by, and he goes, huh. And then as soon as the train comes by, he hops in front of it, and he's flying on these wind currents. And I'm like, those wind currents wouldn't even be going there! That doesn't even make sense! They would be going behind the train! Not in front of the train. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
What are the rules? What are the rules?
And so the rest of the time, which again also doesn't make sense, when he's like up on the heights of the city on these massively tall buildings, no wind currents around at all. He just has to jump from building to building. Where the fuck did the wind currents go? There's no wind up there?
So it's pretty consistently an L then. That really sucks.
There's no wind here.
I can't help but wonder how many more chances does Leto have?
All of them. Fucking all of them.
He's a good looking dude, so...
Is he though? Like
I feel like
he's like
plenty of women. He's
I get that. And again, beauty's in the eye.
Usually women know.
I don't know. He's super creepy to me. Like he's got a creepy.
He's a fucking dork, bro.
Yeah, well, again,
he's so far up his own ass.
Exactly.
Like,
he thinks that like everything that I do is for the good of the world.
Your own asses.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
I wish someone would have beat him up while he was method acting a paralyzed person.
Oh, I know, right?
Like, just to see if he would have stayed in character.
I wish that
right?
he actually, and I don't know if he was doing the whole method acting thing when he was in Fight Club, because I don't know how serious he was, but I wish that he was, and I wish that he actually just got the shit beat out of him.
Mm-hmm. Like, he thinks he is the Burger King. Like, it's so fucking annoying.
God, he's such a fucking dork, bro. Like, it makes me mad.
It makes me mad because I wanted this to be a really good movie because Morbius is a fucking awesome character.
I mean, it is entertaining. It's pretty fun. Like, there are just those little things that, I mean, are kind of nitpicky, but not too nitpicky, really. Like, I don't think I'm being unfair.
What does it do to connect to the greater Marvel?
Well, so at the end...
The Sonyverse.
Yeah. At the end, they do bring in fucking Vulture.
Keaton. Yeah, Keaton.
Yeah,
right.
they bring in Vulture. And so at the end of the movie, there's a tear in space, you know, obviously from Doctor Strange breaking the fucking universe. And Michael Keaton's character just shows up in prison, and he's like, oh, well, what the fuck am I doing? Oh, shit. Well, this is interesting.
What did I do?
Yeah. And apparently breaks out of prison within a couple minutes. Somehow.
I'd better get out of here right away.
Yeah, and then at some point, somehow, we see none of this, at some point, somehow contacts Morbius. They meet out in the fucking field for some goddamn reason and go, and Vulture basically says, you know, we should, he's like, I don't know how I got here. I think it has something to do with Spider-Man, but we should team up. Which is weird because he spent the whole fucking movie being a hero, being a good guy who's like stopping Matt Smith's character. Because basically they grew up with the same disease, and then Matt Smith steals the cure because Jared Leto's like, no, I'm not going to give it to you. It's a fucking curse. This is terrible. Like, you don't want this. He steals it, takes it, and then just sort of goes off the deep end of like, I am the most powerful thing in the world, and I can do anything I want, and I'm going to fuck the shit out of everybody. And
as you do.
Yeah. And so Morbius is like, hey, don't do that. So,
One more time. Let's get a replay. Let's get a replay on that one.
Oh my god.
It's so stupid. And so Morbius goes, hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that. Hey, I don't do that. Hey, don't do that.
Did you say, how are you going to do that, or you don't do that?
I said, hey, don't do that.
Hey, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Hey, how you gonna do that?
Holy shit.
If I can turn that into a fucking sample to fucking put in this board, it's going in there.
Do it. Yes, please. Perfect. That would be fucking awesome.
Hey, don't do that. So that whole thing of him randomly going, I'm gonna jump in line with this bad guy. Yeah. It makes absolutely no fucking sense.
What a fucking motley crew of rogues they're putting together, right? So it's Keaton's Vulture, Leto's Morbius. What the fuck is that kid's name that plays Kick-Ass? That was Quicksilver. Well, he's Kraven the Hunter.
Oh, that's right.
So, like, what a cavalcade of
randomness.
Like,
I know, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't fucking know.
I trust Keaton, but...
Well, see, but I don't like Keaton's Vulture, though. Like, I like Keaton, and he's great in the role. I hate, and I get it to an extent, but I hate this necessity to take all of these classic characters and go, well, it doesn't make sense for the guy to have wings. Let's just make him metal. It's just a military metal thing. Like, that's what every fucking thing is. Like, Rhino?
Yeah.
It's just a metal military thing. Fuck it, I don't know. Like, they're turning everything...
Like modern military.
Yeah, they're like turning everything into mechanized shit because having it not be mechanized for some weird-ass reason is just bad.
Interesting.
I fucking don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Muy interessante.
Yeah.
Crazy. Fucking crazy.
So, recommendation?
I mean, like, it's entertaining. It is. It's not bad.
Should we go see it or should we wait?
I'd wait. I mean, like, I kind of put it in the same camp as Venom, just not quite as, like, there aren't as many, like, oh, that was dope, because, like, I remember that from, like, my childhood. Like, you know, Morbius isn't that kind of a character.
No.
You know? Like, Venom, like, you can connect with almost anything as long as it's done halfway right.
Just, and even with Venom, though, there was a certain charm to it.
Yeah.
You know
totally.
what I mean?
Like
Venom had its own, like, there's nothing canonically right with any of the Venom movies, right?
Yeah, the guy that what's his name? Why can't I think of it? I almost said Tom Brady, but it's obviously not Tom Brady.
Yeah, he played Venom.
Tom Hardy.
What?
Tom Hardy.
Yeah, Tom Hardy. Same. It's the same Tom, and then the last name's D.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Monday for me today, obviously, but like he didn't play the Eddie Brock, and that was my first initial gripe, like because he wasn't like the bodybuilder Eddie Brock with the Brock Lesnar looking dude, you know.
Yeah.
But then when I saw the Eddie Brock that he played, I was like, oh, this is good stuff.
Yeah, like they put some heart into it, you know, like this, it just seemed like, all right, well, here's a movie, we made it. It's whatever.
Speaking of movies, next week I want to go see The Northman for my birthday.
Hell yeah. We
should all go see it's the director, the guy that did The Lighthouse.
Oh yeah.
And The Witch and stuff like that. Looks fucking awesome.
My friend Zach said that X was a shit show.
Oh really?
And I never went to see it, but I might just wait for it. I don't know.
Is this that weird comedy thing that he was talking about doing? Didn't he say that his newest movie is going to be like some kind of weird fusion?
Yeah, it's like
comedy. And
it's
horror.
like in the 80s or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to look at it. It's just called X.
Just X,
the letter
yeah.
X. Okay.
It's like I think the whole X is based off like you've got the X factors, you know, in that sort of vein.
Bummer. If it,
I don't know.
We'll have to look
I
it
still
up.
don't know hardly anything about it, but
well, I mean, if it's not immediate praise, then it's kind of something unfortunate with because he hasn't lost yet, in my opinion. Like he's got a home run on every one of his movies. Same thing with the guy that did like The Lighthouse and stuff.
Robert, what's his name?
I can't remember.
Robert Eggers.
Yeah, Robert Eggers.
Have you, Eddie, jumped onto Our Flag Means Death yet?
I haven't.
Bitch.
I actually completely forgot that was a thing.
Stupid bastard.
I've actually been rewatching Martin.
Oh yeah.
No. Really?
I love that show.
How are you watching it?
HBO Max.
I just feel like that show would not be nearly as funny to me today as it was back then.
Yeah.
It's that show's a product of its time.
It is.
Definitely.
It really is.
Well, I mean, just like the whole, like, just the dynamic of that show. Like, I'm the man type shit, right? Like,
exactly.
Like ridiculous misogyny.
Doesn't he have some kind of bit where he's making fun, like it's a guy pretending to be a woman or something like that?
Well, he's got Shanae.
Shanae. Shanae. That's what it is. Such a problematic character.
That's what I used to call my brother growing up. Because his name is Sean.
Yeah.
And man, did that piss him off so much.
My name's not Shanae.
I bet you can't guess my favorite movie of his.
Blue Streak.
Not even
the one where he goes back to like King Arthur times.
Oh, that's a great
Big Mama's House.
Big Mama's House.
Oh, God.
I fucking love Big Mama's House.
What was that called?
Especially the second one.
What was that called?
My dad fucking loves those movies. Howls at those movies, dude. It's so funny.
Yeah, I've been rewatching that, and
dude, you need to watch Our Flag Means Death.
I'll get there.
It's so
eventually.
fucking good. It's really good.
Yeah.
So one thing that I do want to bring up before we end is we already know the first 11 people that are coming to FanX.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Pineapple.
Sorry. Go ahead.
So I'll just start off with the most well-known ones. We've got Jess Harnell.
Of course.
Giancarlo Esposito.
Yo.
Yeah. We have got Billy Shat. William Shatner.
I was like, who's Billy
I
Shat?
was like, what an
Billy
unfortunate
Billy Shat?
Good old Billy
The
Shat.
Billy Shat?
The Billy Shat.
Getting his roll call in school. Just Shat, Billy.
Present. Present.
Present.
Please, Aunt.
We've got Brent Spiner.
Okay.
Data is coming. We've got Tara Strong coming back.
Yeah,
Nolan North.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got Nolan North coming. Let's see. Who else? Dante Bosco.
Oh, Rufio!
I'm going to have to get me another picture with Tara.
Yeah, and also, Prince Zuko from Avatar Last Airbender. So then we've got Rachel Scarston, who I wasn't familiar with, but she plays Dina Lance on Birds of Prey, the TV series.
Okay.
She plays Tamsin in Lost Girl.
She looks really familiar.
Elizabeth I of England in Reign. And she also plays Beth Kane / Alice in Batwoman.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's been in a few other things as well. But then we've also got Kyle Hebert.
Yep. Trunks. Who else?
Oh, yeah. He was teenage and adult Gohan.
Mm-hmm.
He also was the narrator in the Funimation dub of the Dragon Ball series. He was Sasuke Aizen. Is that how you pronounce that? In Bleach?
Oh.
Sasuke.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure you got it.
Asuka.
Yeah.
There's no Bleach fans in this house. Don't worry.
Oh, okay. Then we've got.
We don't give a fuck about that.
I don't know why. Such conviction.
This is a bleach-free house.
Yeah.
So he played Noriaki Kakyoin? I don't know. In JoJo's...
Kakyoin. Yeah.
In JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
He's like a huge part of like the Funimation dubbing team.
Oh yeah, Fat Gum.
Yep.
He played Fat Gum in My Hero. And he was Ryu in Street Fighter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Like the game?
The game, yeah, the video game series.
Oh,
it says.
Okay.
He's a reoccurring voice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we've got Lindsay Seidel. Or Seidel? I don't know. She was... She was Gabby Brown in the final season of Attack on Titan.
Gabby.
Oh, no. I mean, that's great, but that's a horrible character. Okay, continue.
She was Nagisa Shiota in Assassination Classroom. I don't know what that is.
I haven't seen that.
She was Mira Konohara in Asteroid in Love. Najiri Hato in My Hero. Like a whole bunch of other shit. Like she's been in a lot of stuff. Then we've got a newsletter. And then we've got...
I can't wait for the newsletter.
I know, right? Me too. Todd Habercorn. Or Habercorn, I don't know. He played in Soul Eater. Or well, no, he was Soul Eater, D. Gray Man, and Full Metal Alchemist, as well as he's got voices in WoW, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, Resident Evil, and he plays Mr. Spock in Star Trek Continues, which I assume is a cartoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's dope.
And then... Does anybody need to know what Tara Strong or Nolan North is again? And
What's Nolan North doing today?
I don't know.
Now that Uncharted's not a thing.
So he is a big part of Rick and Morty, which is on hiatus right now.
Yeah, it doesn't really say specifically anyway. This is what he's in now.
Interesting.
Jimmy, could you look up what Nolan North is doing right now?
Are you going to bring Far Cry 5 for Giancarlo Esposito to sign?
Maybe. It's Far Cry 6.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going to bring my... It's unboxed, but I have the Funko of him where he's like adjusting his tie.
Oh, that'd be way cool.
Yeah.
Is it
you
with
gotta
half the face?
Yep.
You gotta get your like $300 home video release of Breaking Bad that you've been wanting to have him sign.
Ah, that's right, huh?
He's still doing Connor Kent in Young Justice. Yeah, it's a ghost in Destiny 2, The Witch Queen.
That's right.
They switched him with Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. I forgot they made him like the voice of the ghost. Yeah.
Mm. It doesn't even sound like him, really.
No, not really.
He plays a hotel guest in the Uncharted movie.
Oh, no way.
Yes, they put him in. Hell yeah.
I still feel like we should probably.
So my brothers went and saw it, and they played the games, and they thought that it did really well. So
Uncharted is weird, man, because I feel like it's so connected to Naughty Dog and that team that I feel like that's why I'm kind of so put off by the movie.
Right.
Is because it doesn't really seem like Naughty Dog, really. And I know that Druckmann was involved, but there's just that charm that Uncharted has, and I didn't see it with the movie. And again, I haven't seen it, so we'll have to...
Well, I mean, like, even me, who isn't really all that attached to the Uncharted games, I don't see Tom Holland as Nathan Drake.
I haven't had that much of an attachment to Uncharted in a long time, because I feel like The Last of Us and The Last of Us Part 2 pretty much just, like, dominated the renowned success of Naughty Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh yeah, like that's like those two games are synonymous with Naughty Dog. Like the name, like that's what you think of when you hear Naughty Dog.
So Uncharted totally works as a movie. Like it's just and I hate boiling it down to this because I don't agree necessarily, but it's basically just Indiana Jones.
Well, yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. So it's like, and that will always work. It has always worked. Mm-hmm. So
and this movie is young Nate and Sully and friends. So that's why they're all very, very good looking.
So I don't know. I see...
found a treasure.
Found a transformer. There's not a whole lot of room to fuck this up with Uncharted.
Yeah.
There's a lot of room to fuck this up with The Last of Us.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm like...
I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel a little hopeful in the fact that it's a series as opposed to a movie.
I feel like we're on the right path. I feel like that's definite. It's a lot more than a 2.5 hour movie.
If you're going to do it right, that's the medium.
Good Lord.
She smells like a stinky shoe.
Really?
Yeah, I keep going down to sniff her and I'm like, wow, stink.
If you're going to do it right, that's the right medium to do it in. That doesn't mean they'll do it right, but it's a start. It's I mean, it's a good point to jump from.
Yeah.
I don't know, because the last TV show that was based off of a video game that came out that I thought was great was Arcane, League of Legends. Apparently, Halo's not seeing that much praise.
Not from fans.
No, obviously not from
casual TV watchers. There's been plenty of praise, but
I was planning on watching it. I mean, obviously, I'm not a huge Halo person.
Please watch it. If you have an inkling to watch it.
I thought about watching it, checking it out, seeing...
Apparently, there was a scene where, I'm assuming it was Chief. I don't know how many Spartans are in this movie.
A lot.
So it was either one of them or it was Chief. I couldn't tell, and the article just showed him taking a plasma pistol, shooting a Covenant, and then dropping it, but the plasma pistol is a different color. When he's
it's the prop.
Yeah, it's the actual prop. They didn't color it or anything, and you can totally tell.
Shockingly bad. From what I've seen of this Halo TV show is shockingly bad. They also talked about in interviews with IGN about how they really wanted the Chief taking his helmet off moment to be earned, and it's in the first fucking episode of
the series. Is it really?
Yes.
Oh my god!
It's at the end of the first fucking episode.
That needs to be at the end of the series if they're even going to do it.
And guess who's running the Covenant?
Who?
Just take a wild fucking guess. What is the one fucking thing that makes the least sense?
Jack Black.
A human woman.
Oh. Like not the actor you're saying. Okay.
A human.
Oh.
A human is in charge of the Covenant. You know, the Covenant, the one that look at us like we're fucking like scum of the earth because
the alien race.
The alien race. Yeah, exactly. The ones that their religion dictates us as like scum that needs to be cleansed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a woman. There's a human. I'm sorry. I keep saying woman, and I know that it doesn't fucking matter. A human. It doesn't matter that it's a woman. It's a human. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? And then, like, the moment where I'm like, okay, absolutely no fucking chances when he takes his helmet off. And now I see all this shit about how he's acting emotional and he's, like, getting super pissed because he doesn't know what he is. Like, they're doing this whole, what am I angle to Master Chief. And it's like, and you brought up the fact that there's other Spartans in there. Let's just go ahead and completely negate the fucking reason why we have Master Chief. Yeah. Why he's so cool in the first fucking place is because he is that guy. He's that fucking guy that gets shit done. That's all he is. He's not supposed to be this empathetic character.
The only
god, how do you
that I
fuck
can
this up
remember
so bad
in Halo that there are other people you're playing with, as far as I can remember, are the spin-offs like ODST and Reach.
That works because the ODST is a whole other fucking soldier. And it's like when you play as an ODST, you're massively fucking at a disadvantage because you have no energy shields. It makes sense when you do this. It doesn't make sense when you're trying. Oh boy. It's like they went into it thinking like we're gonna piss this cold guy off as much as we possibly can.
It would have been great if they just had somebody on the show go, "Hey, Master Chief," and then like 100 people go, "What?"
I don't know, and like the thing that like hurts the most is like the criticism that they're receiving is not going well at all. Like they're just like, you're just a hating ass bitch, basically. Like the guy that's playing Master Chief is all over Twitter, like constantly retweeting like every single fucking piece of praise that like a fucking boomer that just signed up for their free fucking trial of Paramount Plus is like I thought it was really good. I don't know who this chief character is, but he seems kind of cool in my book.
Like, hey, 50 people in the world think I did a good job.
Oh, dude. How you had it, like, it should be you deserve a gold medal because you fucked this up so much. This is worse than Bebop. Like, what the fuck is going on? God.
I kept trying to watch it like the day that it dropped because PlayStation doesn't have Paramount Plus, which I think is bizarre. First of all, so I was trying to watch it on my actual Roku, and it kept freezing the whole picture.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just gave up. I haven't even watched it yet.
Gotta love those fucking elites too that have no defining features at all. Like, not like they're a religious cult that has like customs and everything set in their armor and everything. No, let's just make them look as fucking boring and generic and bland as possible.
And none of the
none of the charm from the games, like blah, 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 like nothing. There's nothing.
I did see a video that somebody threw together that was the big fight scene or the shootout in the first episode, but they replaced all of the TV gun sounds with the game gun sounds. So when they were shooting the Gatling gun, it was like you're actually shooting the one from the Warthog.
I saw little things like that. Like there's a moment where Chief a Spartan pulls out its pistol and it goes to like the POV and it does like the pistol gun reticle in the POV. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's not enough, but it's cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and of course, on this distant planet that's unfathomably away from us, there's a 2003 Chevy Tahoe on that fucking planet. It's little things. It's death by 1,000 cuts and then a massive fucking gash at the end.
The Tahoe may be unrecognizable. If this was on Earth, I could maybe understand that, just like a remnant of, past civilization, but it's not on Earth. It's clear the fuck out.
Yeah.
Look, if you're willing to pay enough, you can ship shit anywhere. I mean,
and that year of Tahoe was really good. I don't know. I need to stop myself before I go any further, but yeah, I won't be watching the Halo series at all.
Then why are you trying to make me watch it?
Well, because I think that there might be a chance. You don't
have a Halo attachment.
Well, yeah.
There might be a chance that there is some kind of value
it would
there.
be nice. It would be nice to have an unbiased opinion.
Yeah, but when you say that he drops the gun and it's a different gun when it falls to the ground,
it's pretty bad.
That's not a oh well, maybe you'll like it more if you're not attached to the game series kind of an issue. Like, that's just an issue.
Well, I mean, that's stuff that they fix in post. Like, I mean, in one episode of Game of Thrones, they accidentally left in a Starbucks cup.
Right.
Or the actor that played Littlefinger was wearing a watch in one scene. They fix those things afterwards. Or they
accidentally made the last part of everything suck.
Yeah.
I don't know how you fix that in post.
No.
Well, I guess we could end it with Sora to Final Fantasy confirmed.
Yeah. So I didn't even know that this was a fucking thing.
Bro, I think it blindsided
anybody.
Yeah, I think it blindsided a good amount of us.
So I wasn't blindsided because I remember at the end of 3.
No. I'm saying, like, it's not crazy that it's happening. It's more
that it's so soon.
That it's so soon and it's so different. So I was at work when the news dropped. They had a special broadcast in Japan. And still don't really know how to feel about it quite yet. Initial first impressions.
Big feet are gone.
The big feet are gone. I really like Sora's design. I don't know why, but it feels...
It's very realism now.
It's more refined, and it feels
it's very
a little bit
more Final Fantasy than it was ever Disney.
Absolutely. They fixed his hair. It doesn't look like he cuts his own hair anymore. I don't know. I struggle to find like super bad things to say about it because like we kind of already knew, like Angela was saying, that there's a massive teaser at the end of 3, and that's a big reason why I was so upset with it is because.
Well, it ends with Sora and is it Riku? They just end up in Shibuya Crossing.
Ooh, I don't know if Riku's there. But
I think
Sora's
it was
there.
Sora and someone else just like wind up in Shibuya Crossing, and they're like, "Where the fuck are we?" So
it's this weird fucking character called Yizoru or some shit like that. He's like the final boss of the DLC that came out for 3. It's super convoluted and messy and stupid, but I see promise in this because it is a new chapter. They're calling it a new arc.
Would you say basically. It's a new hope?
Man, I sure hope so.
Oh,
damn it. I was going to go for the wall. There you go.
I mean, this is where you're going to see your Avengers, your Marvel, your Spider-Man, your Star Wars.
You think so?
Oh, big fucking time. So I was talking about it with Joey this morning because he hadn't seen it and I sent it to him. And he's like, and you know, he's pretty abrasive to this. Like he's more like, cause he fucking hated 3 too. He didn't even finish 3. Like, and that is a lot because these games mean a fucking ton, especially to me and him. So knowing that like he never even finished that game and I never, you know, like I try to do like the special editions of these special games between me and him, like make it as special as it is for me. And I never got like upset with him that he never finished it.
You were super burned by this game anyways because GameStop canceled your KH3 PS4.
Yeah, there's a whole lot, and I've I struggle to say that I've grown up because I don't think I'm there yet. But like I'm starting to not hate it as much because I know another fact at this point, in my opinion, is that Kingdom Hearts 3 sucks so fucking bad, so Final Fantasy VII Remake can be as good as it is. And I'm okay with that.
So they could run.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it, like, I really, and it's funny because, like, success begets more success because I see Final Fantasy VII Remake all fucking over this. Like, not only with the more modern take, but, like,
battle sequences
and like how there's a lot of similarities between like the way that the camera's cut and everything, like in movement is portrayed. Still looks a little too floaty for me. Still looks a lot like Kingdom Hearts 3. But again, hope. I'm struggling on hopium here because I'm like, I think that this is early, right? Like, God, they did the same fucking thing, but they gave it a new spin. They said magic in the making instead of now in development because they got so much shit for their second update of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Will we see this in the next 13 years?
I'm hoping that it is because like
2030 release.
No, with how they've been in the past, I would see it like roadmap like 3 years.
Yeah.
So the problem with Kingdom Hearts 3 is the fact that they started development with the Luminous engine from Final Fantasy Versus 13, which turned into Final Fantasy 15. So that's the engine that they were using, and they got like mostly done before they started coming into some really, really hard-hitting issues that they could not figure it out. So what do? They scrap it, and they start all the way over with Unreal Engine 4. And so this teaser is running on 4, but it's being developed for 5, which is a big, big deal. In my opinion, I think that that's like, Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to be like one of the first titles to use Unreal Engine 5. And I think that's really fucking cool. I was talking to Joey this morning about it, and I was like, it kind of makes sense. Like, this more modern take makes sense because look at Kingdom Hearts 3. We have gotten to a point in visual fidelity and, like, how games are supposed to look that cartoonish like style that Nomura strives, thrives in is not good. Like, doesn't look good. It feels very uncanny, very uncanny valley, basically. Where, especially in levels like fucking Pirates of the Caribbean, where you're put up against these ultra hyper realistic models, and then you have fucking Sora's goofy ass. It's just like, and Donald and Goofy that are in there. That's like, it's just clash. It's tones and aesthetics clashing like fucking mad.
But with this new one, it'll look a lot better with like next to
absolutely,
and all that.
I'm kind of a sucker for anything Shibuya or Tokyo, so I'm kind of already like, looks real good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm struggling, man, because like I don't want to fucking do this again.
Mm-hmm.
But like at the same time, like there's so many possibilities of this going good.
Well,
like,
and
it's a new arc. We can scrap all this. Nomura, I'm fucking begging you, scrap all this convoluted shit. Let's not do this anymore. Leave it in the past, because you can now. You can take this any fucking direction that you want. You really, really can. And I know that you're not going to, because in the same fucking breath that you announced this game, you announced 2 other fucking mobile games that I know are going to have insanely important plot details. You're going to do that. I understand that. But the thing is, though, is that, like, this is your chance to untether Kingdom Hearts with as much fucking bullshit as that you have. Like, you really can have this be, like, a next level Kingdom Hearts game.
Yeah.
Especially with, like, these higher quality IP that Disney owns. Personally, I would love to see them kind of untether from Disney a little bit. Let's not be so underneath their thumb. But of course, probably a big chunk of funding is coming from Disney, so there's no way.
So on the topic of Disney, the trailer ends with Donald and Goofy, and then I believe it's Hades getting after them, all in Japanese.
It is in Japanese,
and
so I can't tell you.
I'm stealing a take that I heard from a streamer that I watch, but it's also super funny. James Woods is funded by Disney to have his QAnon Republican takes. He gets $1 million every 4 years to redo his roles in the Kingdom Hearts games from Disney, and just goes back on Twitter on his QAnon rants.
Yeah. It's very funny.
So great.
I know that that's not going to happen. I know that Disney is like an integral part of this, and of course, like I did really kind of like the little stinger at the end with Donald and Goofy in the end. Like it's a weird attachment that I have to these characters. I don't see them as Disney characters, like, and I know that they've been in like the public domain forever. That they're Disney characters, right? Like they're not anything in it.
They're not Final Fantasy.
They're not Final Fantasy characters, but for me that they are, and it's fucking stupid, and I hate that I can't divorce those two things, but it's just how it is, and unfortunately, this newer style that Nomura is going on with this more modern take, it's still going to be held back by stuff like that. You know what I mean? Unless when they come into this new world, Donald and Goofy come into this new world, and they don't transform into realistic versions of themselves. You know what I mean?
You think
like,
they're going to Shrek to them with Shrek and Donkey?
Goofy comes into the world as just a dog.
Like, what the fuck?
And Donald comes into the world and he's just got like a fucking staff just taped. He's like a robot, and he's just got a staff.
They each have their respective hats.
They have the hat. They have the Nomura fucking zipper hat. Yeah, dude, of course. The one thing that's kind of bugging me a little bit, there's no confirmation that it's Yoko Shimomura being the composer. I'm a little concerned because that's like,
you already know that they're going to bring Hikari Utada.
I hope so. I hope so, because that, that's That's my bag. Like, I hope that they do that because it doesn't really feel like Kingdom Hearts without it. But it does seem very Shimomura, like a very piano-centric soundtrack for this trailer. God, I hope so. I really, really hope so. Anytime that I get any new music from her, I'm giddy. I'm super fucking giddy. But yeah, you're probably not gonna see this game till like 2026. Yeah, 2026. The magic in the making is not no fucking helping their cause at all. And it's Nomura. So whenever we get more, you'll hear from me, and hopefully it's good. But I don't know. They did add a grappling hook, so they're already they're on their way to making greatness.
Well, that concludes our catch-up episode. We hope you enjoyed it. As always, you can follow us on social media.
On Facebook at The Nerd Corporation, a podcast.
On Twitter and Instagram at Nerdcore Podcast.
Or you can shoot us an email at nerdcorppodcast@gmail.com.
And if you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search The Nerd Corporation and look out for our green NC logo.
And if you want to hear this episode unedited and in its entirety, subscribe to our Patreon. Patreon.com/nerdcorppodcast. Several tiers of loot to have access to, from stickers and shirts to extra content and bonus episodes. We'd love to thank our Nerd Corporate backers, Glenn the Simp, Fillmore McLaurin, and Jake Hurst, and our Nerd Financial investors, Kim Nichols and Dallin Gilbert.
Thank you, Dallin. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, Fillmore.
Thank you, Cole.
Hey, don't do that.
Hey, don't do that.
Hey, don't do that. Hey, don't do that.
On behalf of the Nerd Corporation, we thank you, we love you, and keep it nerdy, y'all.
Goodbye.
Bye.